So, hi Mudassir. Exciting day today for the launch of the Careem app. So, tell us a little bit about the app and what is going to be available in Pakistan almost immediately.
Yeah. So basically, what's happening, Jahara, is the Careem app that people have known historically as the ride-hailing app is evolving into becoming what we're calling the Super App. And the idea is that on this one app, you'll actually be able to avail multiple services in a single place. So depending on the city you're in, you will get cars, taxis, motorbikes, bicycle, food delivery, pharmacy delivery, grocery delivery, bill payments, mobile recharge, peer-to-peer payments, and so on and so forth. So there are multiple services that you may need on a daily basis are available in one app, and then all of this is brought together within a single sign-on, so you don't have to log into multiple apps. It's got a common loyalty program, so all the spending that you do on the Super App gives you loyalty points that can be redeemed both for spending on the app or with other partners. And most importantly, there's a common payments layer, which we're calling Pay, that is sort of the means of payment for all the services that you consume on the Super App. And that has the ability to have credit cards, direct bank transfers, you sit in a car, give extra money to the captain, that gets added to the wallet. So it's basically one app that we're hoping over time is the only app that you need to live your daily life.
So, why did you guys decide to do this? I mean, was there? I'm sure there were some conversations, some research that happened, dissatisfaction on the part of users who said they had too many apps. What was it that convinced Careem that, look, this is something we should do? Or is it just because WeChat has an app and GoCheck has an app? What was the reason behind the launch of the Super App?
Yeah. So, Jha, you know this even more than I do, right? The average customer in a place like Pakistan is relatively simple, right? It's the level of sophistication is not the same as you would find in some other parts of the world. Now, it was a challenge to get them to download the Careem app and start using the Careem app, right? Now, as we want to launch other services, to get them to download other apps, have them to log into other apps, put their payment locations in other apps. It's a pretty laborious and cumbersome process, right? And based on our own internal testing, in fact, we launched a MVP of the Super App last year. Some users were getting it, some users were not getting it. When we put multiple icons on the same app that allowed them to do different things, we just started seeing more conversion, right? Like instead of downloading another app, people were more comfortable in the same app, which already had all of the details that they had before, do transactions. So, we realized that putting all of the different services that we want to offer in one app just makes the user life a lot simpler and is a slightly easier graduation into doing more and more things online. So that's one part of it, right? How do we solve for the user? Now, the other part of this is, we've always had the aspiration to uplift the region, right? And uplift the region by doing digital leapfrogging is what we have called, right? That the region missed out on a lot of development over the last few decades. We have an opportunity now to catch up through digital leapfrogging. Now, digital leapfrogging requires more and more services that people need digitally to be built more affordably, to be built in an easier way. And there's a whole developer ecosystem that needs to be in place, right? So the Super App also allows us to now open up our platform to others that want to provide services to the same customers that we are going after, right? So if, say, some developer sitting in Karachi, sitting in Lahore, sitting in Islamabad wants to offer a service to others in Pakistan, now they no longer have to develop their own app on Android, on iOS, go and integrate with some payment gateways, build their own delivery fleet, go and do marketing on Facebook and Google, and these are like pretty expensive and time-consuming things to build, right? Now what they can do is that they can build a mini app through the APIs that we publish on the Careem Super App. And through that mini app, we will start sending them customers that will open the Careem app that may have a need for that service, they'll be able to use Careem Identity, they'll be able to use Careem Pay for payments. They even have the option to use the Careem Last Mile Delivery Network for delivering their services if there is that element into it. And they'll also be able to give an incentive to their customers through the Careem loyalty points to use their services through the Careem platform. So we actually believe that we'll be able to shorten the development life cycle and adoption life cycle for these developers quite significantly, thereby hopefully making it easier for a lot of services to get built, and that digital leapfrogging that we are speaking about for a long time starts to happen.
Do you think that the COVID-19 attack has sort of convinced people more to look at digital in a more positive way?
I think the jury is still out on the positive or negative side, right? But what is clear is people don't have a choice, right? Many of us, we are stuck at homes. We are not as comfortable going out in the offline world, into those crowded markets and bazaars that we were getting services from before, right? So, just by not having that choice, we have to adopt these digital platforms, because these digital platforms in some cases are offering an alternative. Not everywhere, not for all services, but where these digital services exist, there is an alternative, right? So at least people are trying, right? And people are adopting these apps and giving them a shot. Now, I believe that we, let's say the digital platforms, need to work hard to build that trust. So if we deliver reliable services, if we give the right experiences to people, then they will come back, right? They will start adopting them positively, as you said. But if we fail to deliver those reliable experiences, then guess what? They will start churning and they'll go back to the old ways of doing things. So I believe that there's a big windfall, that has happened for digital platforms as a result of this crisis. But it is incumbent on us now to deliver those reliable experiences that make this transformation stick.
Are you looking at having the Careem app available in Urdu anytime soon?
बिल्कुल उर्दू आ रही है बदिया कब आ रही है उर्दू let me put बदिया on the spot.
Yes sir. मुदस्सिर plans थे लेकिन थोड़े से कोविड की वजह से इधर उधर हुए हैं, but I can share the exact details with you Jahan, but इतना plans हैं इसके हैं.
अच्छा, okay, that's good.
मैं भी थोड़े टाइम के बाद याद दिलाता हूँ लोगों को, यार उर्दू ऐप भी लॉन्च कर दो आगे बढ़ो.
No, because as you say, the majority of Pakistanis will find it much easier to adopt. Although I know yours is very icon based and that makes it simpler, but they become more familiar if they see an Urdu app, right? And so the trust factor becomes easier as well. There is so what's the timeline going to be? I know you're starting with Karachi with a couple of the services and then expanding it to Lahore and other cities. What's the timeline going to be? When are the services going to be available now that you've excited everybody with the launch of the Super App? Everyone wants everything now, right? So is there an established timeline?
We've put ourselves under a lot of pressure by doing this. But basically, look, I think look at Pakistan as a whole. The transportation services are available, of course, on the Super App, right? So गाड़ियाँ हो गई, कहीं की taxis हैं, rickshaws हैं, motorbikes हैं. So those things are available off the bat. The other things that are available off the bat are some of the bill payment type of use cases. So for example, अगर आप mobile phone की payments हो सकती हैं, recharge हो सकते हैं, even bill payments, utility bill payments is available across Pakistan off the bat.
Okay, I didn't realize that. Okay.
Right, but yeah, correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe it's not been launched, but I can see it on my screen, right? So, Jana, you understand the concept of open loop, closed loop, right? अभी हम पैसे ला सकते हैं, Careem की सर्विस पे खर्च कर सकते हैं, but वो बाहर नहीं निकाल सकते पैसे until we get the e-money license, which of course we are in the process of, inshallah. It's a work in progress. So, but ये services जो है, they're off the bat available in all throughout Pakistan or will be very soon, right? फिर अब आती है delivery services के ऊपर बात, right? This is the third leg of the equation. Now, delivery services में we have launched the food delivery service in Karachi, and that's the first city that we've launched this in. The plan is that over the next few months we should bring this to other cities in Pakistan as well. because this is a slightly more mature product that
Yeah.
we have running at some scale in Dubai, in Saudi, in Jordan, and now we're basically bringing this to Pakistan, and the goal is to sort of scale this service on top of the super app. So वो इंशाल्लाह कुछ महीनों में आ जाएगी in a few places. The last service, which is what we're calling shops, which is basically the idea is कि यार जितनी भी आपके आसपास दुकानें हैं उनके किसी तरह कैटलॉग लगा के हम डाल दें, and then we basically allow you to point to any store, look at that catalog of goods, select what you want, and then some Careem captain will go and pick it up and bring it to you, right? That's the service that we're calling shops. That'll take some time. I think wo abhi jo hai na, it's a brand new service. We have it live in Dubai now. I can order pharmacy and a few other things, but it still needs some product development for it to be at a point where we feel comfortable bringing it to more and more cities in Pakistan.
Okay. And so how do you think that the launch of the super app will have an impact on Pakistan and on the consumer here?
अभी तो बहुत early days, but I think imagine 2 years out, 3 years out, we've inshallah made it so easy for startups, for developers to identify gaps, develop services for those gaps, and put them on the Careem Super App. That there's enough services available that you don't need to go out in the offline world at all, right? Anything that you need, you can actually get on the Careem Super App, right? आप सुबह को उठे घर में पानी नहीं है, बटन दबाया, पानी आ गया. Then let's say if you forgot to have bread, बटन दबाया, bread आ गई थी bakery से, store से. Here you go to the office. If you're still going back to the office and not working from home still, then you can go to the office in the Careem thing, lunch pay, khana dabaya, khana aa gaya. Or maybe you go to a restaurant with some friends and some friend pays the bill. You say, now let me pay this friend back. वो Careem के app के through कर दिया. वापस आए office से through a Careem rickshaw or a car. आके you want to order dinner. You order dinner on the Careem Super App. रात को you want to just chill. Netflix account के पैसे देने. You go buy. You do this thing. या फिर some electric bills have come due, you do this. So the goal is, and these are services that are already available today for the most part, right? And you'll have a lot more needs as well. And the hope is that you become a lot, if you can become a lot more productive and you don't spend time doing those basic things that take away so much of your time, then you can focus on big things and do those big things, right? Now, why is a Pakistani in San Francisco a lot more productive and a lot more successful than a Pakistani sitting in Karachi, right? वो इन्हीं चीज़ों में हमारा दिन और ज़िंदगी ख़त्म हो जाती है. वहाँ चीज़ें रिलायबली चलती हैं तो वो टाइम होता है वही चीज़ डिफरेंट चीज़ें करने का, right? So I'm hoping that in a couple of years we can get to this point where basic life becomes so simple that we can level the playing field in geographic presence, and we can start benefiting from the potential that our people have, right? Sitting in Pakistan, not having to travel outside of Pakistan. So inshallah, we're hoping it'll mean big things for Pakistan and the region.
So Mudassir, yeah, I mean, for people like me and other people like me in this country who are already used to shopping on Amazon and doing all that kind of thing, and now Daraz and Careem, that's fine. But what is your target market in terms of the larger part of Pakistan? I mean, who are you expecting to really take up this service? Is it just people like me, or is it the larger population?
It's a matter of time, right, Jana? I mean, there are not that many people like you, unfortunately, in Pakistan, right? So we have to move down the pyramid rapidly, right? Not just from an economic opportunity standpoint, but also from the opportunity to make an impact in the lives of people at scale, right? So yes, today we may start with people like yourself and build the service out because you are the early adopters, you will try things, you will get feedback, you have bank accounts, you have credit cards, you have access to these things. But of course, over time, we will and we plan to make it more and more affordable, make it more and more simple. You mentioned the Urdu app. The app needs to become even more simpler, needs to have services for the middle class, and then over time even go further below, right? So it is a secular trend. It's just it's a question of time versus a question of if.
Okay, so there's one question that I know you were asked during the press briefing as well, but I'd like you to focus it on Pakistan. So right now, Careem has become a blessing for many of us who really don't want to take out our cars all the time, especially when we're heading out to places where parking is a problem, if we're going to the airport and things like that. But sometimes there have been complaints that captains are very particular about the kind of passenger they pick up because if you're on a package or you're on a credit card, they feel it will take a lot of time for them to get the payment. So they're not really that keen to pick you up. You said there was some move towards making sure that the captains got their payments quickly. For Pakistan, is that going to happen anytime soon?
It's already happened, Jahara. So I think basically, and this is, by the way, I've lived through this personally, right? Because I have my credit card on file. When I come to Pakistan, I use a service. वो क्रेडिट कार्ड फाइल पे होता है अक्सर कैप्टन्स एक्सेप्ट नहीं करते और एक्सेप्ट करते भी तो खुश नहीं होते ना because they're not happy to do that trip, right?
And then they grumble through the
Yeah, I know. So I've lived through it personally, right? So I know exactly what you mean. नहीं तो what we've done is and this was done from that perspective, but also another perspective
they need money.
We're entering a very difficult time. We're entering a very difficult time and they need money, right? So what we've enabled now is what we're calling daily payouts, but in fact, it's almost instant in many cases. So as soon as a captain does a trip, that money gets added to their wallet in the app. And many captains have bank accounts registered with us, and then they can press a button and send that money to their bank account. And so that instantly, within 3 to 5 hours, if the payment is done before a certain time, the money can be available to them in their bank account. So this is something that we've been working on for the last 3 to 4 months. It's now live. It's also live in Pakistan, and it will start changing the behavior of captains over time, right? Throughout the time, लगेगा foreign behavior overnight to change नहीं होगा, but I think as they start realizing that, hey, every trip is almost equal. Instead of getting money now, I can get money in 3 hours. We will start seeing an uplift in experience for non-cash payment options.
And also with the new services, their income will also increase, I presume.
Cool, which is the other big thing that is a big focus, right? So look at the delivery is a big opportunity, is an exciting opportunity. Yes, from a customer standpoint, it's the need of the hour. There's a big opportunity, but for us, if you look at our internal objectives, we have an internal objective to enable all of our ride-hailing captains to do deliveries because they need work right now, and even if they have ride-hailing work, they're not busy throughout the day, right? They have pockets of time when they're idle, and a lot of delivery volumes come during those pockets, right? So if we can enable them to do deliveries, then their utilizations will go up, their earnings will go up. Now, of course, simpler said than done, right? Because technically तो बड़ा आसान है, हमने बटन दबा दिया, उनको dispatch भेज दिया, but at the operational level, there are a lot of challenges, right? Like some of these guys have cars, bike पे तो parking आराम से मिल जाती है हर जगह, गाड़ी में आसाम से नहीं मिलती. They have to go inside the store. Sometimes they go in buildings, pick something, then they have to deliver. It's a different delivery model, operational delivery model than a passenger transport, right? तो हमें इनको सिखाना है, हमें इनको जो मसले आ रहे हैं एक-एक करके solve करेंगे. So then the fleet, is what we call it, will become multi-modal. The same fleet can do multiple use cases, and then hence, of course, earnings go up, utilizations go up. So that we're excited about.